As if some robot is telling me I can't do anything.
It's not easy to go an extended period of time without any sexual release.
Think of your lad.
This retreat is to help you gain deeper emotional connections.
Is blue balls a real thing?
We'll find out.
Right, welcome everybody to another episode of the Love Island cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris Phelps, and my co-host and very good friend is Mr. Dave Horrocks.
Hey there, Chris. It's great to be back again because we need to record this fucker because not binging this series is so damn difficult. It gets to the end and I'm like, no, I can't stop. And so, where do you want to start today?
Well, I think we can't start anywhere other than Francesca and Hayley, can we, Dave? I mean, I stuck up for him last episode. Again, Chris Phelps 180.
You're on fucking form even more than
normal. Yeah.
For your 180s.
Fucking hell. Talk about being a pair of dicks through the episode. I mean, you know, we've got Jesus Christ Superstar there, aren't we? Telling everybody, like, you know, maybe it's them two. Maybe he's doing a bit of an Inspector Clouseau thing.
I was going to say Inspector Jesus Christ
Superstar.
Superstar.
Sorry, Matthew to everyone else, but yes. And he's doing the old... But he was on the money, to be fair. Well, I mean, Sam did sit next to me and she went, oh, fuck off. He's been told who's done it, you know. But I do think it played out as quite an intense episode. And that fucking Hayley, she's got the best poker face I've ever seen, Dave. I mean, she denied it till her death, didn't she?
Yeah, I mean, at the start of the episode, they think they're so clever, don't they? In this, you know, this luxurious villa that's got cameras everywhere. It's like no one will ever know. It is the perfect crime, and they are so happy. And even when they're around, like it's like that little bonfire sort of fire pit thing, isn't there? And you know, they were. I thought Francesca, if anyone had actually looked at her, they'd have seen she was smirking and stuff. It was pretty obvious it was her. But it is uncomfortable. Hayley can clearly lie through her back teeth and very, very convincingly about it.
Yeah, I'd say convincing. She was convincing. Francesca was rubbish, and they even alluded to it, didn't they? The voiceover was like, you know, to go through something like this, you need a very good wingman or wingwoman. Francesca's there like the guiltiest face ever. But what I found interesting was Hayley and her believed that they'd got away with it, and I'm thinking... Yeah. That is the worst bit of lying. And Hayley's going, who's done that? And I'm like, oh, that is terrible. Why are you opening your gob? And the fact they both got up and walked off, it
looked so guilty, didn't it?
Yeah, and I'd not paid attention the last episode. They purely did it out of spite, didn't they? Because of what Harry had done to her. And I'd not caught on that on. I was way off on. I'm thinking there's going to be a bit of an affair going on or something. But it's just childish, really. Harry's, you know, still a dick. He was trying to apologise, but I just thought the way they come in high five, yeah, and I'm like, no, nobody watching this believes that you go away with that, so I don't think you have.
Well, I kind of thought that they might have done. I mean, I don't think it was so much Harry. I think it was the whole group, and you know, the whole group are like getting all angry about losing $3,000 out of the $100,000. Yeah. And so, you know, they wanted to cost them more money, and it's like, we'll never be found out at all. But, you know, when it was going through the episode and when it got to the end there, the fact that the two of them walked off, that was the thing that tipped Matthew off. He was like, hang about, that's a bit weird. So I think that's what got him sniffing it out. But when he said, let's ask Lana, you know, Chris, the talking air freshener, not the contestant.
Yeah, all right, Dave. Yeah, get it. Yeah.
When he said, let's ask Lana, I was like, oh, shit. But he drew it out, didn't he? Because, you know, they were trying to throw Sharon and Rhonda under the bus. Because, you know, Sharon had asked Rhonda, you know, can you come out here a minute while everyone's asleep? Can you just jump in the shower with me? And again, they don't fuck about this lot, do they? You know, if they want a bit of slap and tickle, then they just go ahead and ask for it. So, yeah, but they played right into Francesca and Hayley's hands because they thought that gave them the perfect kind of patsy to throw under the bus. So, you know, Matthew asked them. He asked about, you know, was it Harry? And then we all know what's coming. Is it Francesca and Hayley? Affirmative. And I was just like, oh, brilliant. But even, he'd ask them, straight up, it's like, just admit it now before we have to go through this. And, that'll be easier, other than we have to catch you out. And so I think this is going to run and run, isn't it? Because they were alienating themselves from the group before. Now, they're right out in the cold.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I think what I couldn't get is Francesca had been done over. The whole house turned against the last episode. For me, if it was me, I would have turned round to Harry, if it was Francesca, and I would have said, I tell you what, I'm going to actually say that we did this. And you know why we did it? Because you lied to everybody in the house. So why don't you tell them all now that it was actually you who instigated? You've gone around spreading lies about me. And let's get it. And she would have won. As much as they would have gone, oh, it's a bit shit that she's done this. Everybody would have sided with her and gone, you know what? He's a wanker. But she didn't. They just played it for. And Hayley sat there like a resting bitch faces to say, well, fuck all he is. And I'm thinking, oh no, they're going to have about £3.50 left if this carries on.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very strange, wasn't it? And you're right. I mean, it does irk me a bit how Harry seems to have just got away with that blatant lie straight off the. Was it the first episode? Oh no, it was the second episode, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And not only that, Chris. So if we move away from Francesca and Hayley a little bit, we get into a bit of the bondage, don't we?
Yeah.
Like when I say we, not me and you, of course, but so we get this. We get the couples, and they're all, practicing out a bit of tying each other up and stuff. And that's when Francesca and Harry get paired up. And initially, that is so awkward and uncomfortable to watch. But after she gets a bit of revenge, so this episode was called "Revenge is a Dish Best Served Hot," wasn't it? And so that it's obviously alluding to this bit. And she's proper like tying the knots quite tight, making sure she inflicts a bit of pain, which, I don't think he completely didn't enjoy. But by the end of it, it did seem to repair some bridges between them. And so, again, it's irritated me a bit because Harry seems to be, he seems to have got off scot-free with Francesca. I think there's still possibly something there. But, Francesca and Hayley, they're still the arseholes of the group now. So I don't know. He just seems like that Teflon guy, Harry. He just seems to fall on his feet all the time.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's weird because they're going to fall for it, Dave. They're not going to keep not getting away, but they're not going to keep believing his shit. He's going to become too much. I mean, I know we've only got 7 episodes, so we might not get a chance. He might get away with it. But if he's doing sort of these sort of bullshit things where he won't blink and he's like, I'm definitely telling the truth, somebody somewhere is going to go, hang on a minute, he's taking the piss here. And look,
yeah,
they're all after the money at the end of the day. However, I do think, Dave, moving slightly on from Harry, something's happened to Sharon, on it, and Rhonda. 1 minute they were together, and when, like you said, when they were digging him out, Sharon just sort of went, "Yeah, I'm not going to meet anybody in here. I'm not with." And like,
yeah.
before, Rhonda was sat on his knee, and they were doing the bondage thing, and they were literally wrapped up together. And I'm thinking, either he's going to be poking her where he shouldn't, or she's going to go in for the kiss here because they were that close. I was thinking, this isn't right.
Well, I don't know. Didn't see either of them complaining. But yeah, when they were having the argument, obviously, and I quite like this couple, and I think he was getting quite angry and agitated, wasn't he? And it sounds like his ex-girlfriend ran off with his best friend or something. So I think what he was saying was, look, I'll fuck all of you, but I'm not going to get emotionally involved. I think that's what he was clumsily trying to say. Whereas I think Rhonda is probably looking for a little bit more than that. So I think they did have a chat about it, and he came across in that moment, Sharon, quite vulnerable. And I don't know if this is going to be completely gone.
I actually think it is. I think what she said was basically, well, I'm not fucking around. She probably got, I don't know how much this was filmed over, whether it was 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm not sure. But I do think she's doing the right thing by looking elsewhere. That guy has been emotionally scarred and something's gone on somewhere because he literally flipped from being the coolest, like probably the sexiest guy in there, I think, with a lot of the girls, because he was just like cool as a cucumber, to an absolute emotional wreck. As soon as he got accused of something that he'd not done, he just went. And I thought that was fucking. He's either playing the classic reality show like character where you can't be and show your real person, or I just couldn't get it. But yeah, I think they're finished, to be honest.
Well, we'll see. Probably what that means is they'll be the strongest couple in there when we watch the next episode, given your current form and your 180s. So I don't know. I mean, I liked what Rhonda said, actually. She was like, if I knew how to fix Sharon, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You know, which is, I think, quite self-aware of the type of people that are in there, you know, and like I say, they are a bit promiscuous. The way they build relationships. But it's one to watch, isn't it, as a relationship? Are they just going to completely part ways, or is this kind of going to make them stronger? I tell you what doesn't make a couple stronger with a bit of the old bondage rope. That's tying up David's hands by Chloe. What did you make to that, and the way that sort of went from 100 miles to hour to crash and burn very, very quickly?
I like I say, I'm not a fan of his. I did say on the last show, maybe they may become the strongest characters and strongest relationship. As you just said, my track record at the moment is not very good. Predictions, Dave, I'm usually trying to hit 1 out of 100 at least. I don't know. I don't know whether they're together more than anything because of the location of where they live. I don't know. She even says it, doesn't she? She says, above this sort of, as you can see, the sexual attraction between us, is there going to be anything other in a relationship? And I think if she's having them doubts now, it's not going to work, is it? You pretty much know usually. You know, they look good on each other's arms, and I think that's about it. Yeah, I don't feel anything for them at the moment, but as Mr. Horrocks has just said, Chris's predictions are about as fucking useful as a chocolate fire guard, so we'll never know.
No, it was weird, though, how it completely crashed just based on that. I mean, when they were talking about, you know, has anyone done this before with the old bondage gear? Chloe's hand was straight up enthusiastically in the air, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then when she tied his hands together, she was like, oh, you know, do you feel anything from that? And he's like, nope, not a thing. You know, that in that moment, and again, we don't know because of the editing whether there's something else going on, but all before that, she was talking about having this sexual chemistry with David. And it seems just from that one comment, she's like, well, he ain't into being tied up, so he's not the one for me.
Yeah. There's worse things to be doing, David. He could have gone along with it if he really wanted to. But yeah, I don't know. I've just something about that girl I'm not feeling. I don't like David anyway. These could become my Love Is Blind, Amber and was it Barnett? I got his name right for a change. It could be them. They could be my hated couple. I don't really pull to, but yeah, I'm not really bothered about them, to be honest, Dave. Now, talk about coming in and not really hitting it off with everybody. We got a new contestant, didn't we? Mr. Bryce came in.
You know what, Chris? You know how I said this is the biggest bunch of narcissistic bastards that they could possibly find? Turns out they can actually one-up themselves. This guy. Honestly, everyone else, I mean, everyone else who's currently in there is ripped as fuck, aren't they? You know, the blokes are, the women have got great bodies as well. This guy, I can't work him out at all. He's not got that beach body. I don't think he's particularly good looking. But fuck me, if there was an Olympic game sport for you know, having confidence in yourself, this guy would get the gold every time. He fucking loves himself, doesn't he?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I read his bio. I waited to see when he came in, and I went, right, put his name in, read his bio, and he lives on a boat with his brother and their party lifestyle. And when you read about these people, you're like, you're just a bunch of fucking wasters, aren't you? I mean, what do you do in life? He's a director, writer, producer, an actor. Even made a film called Counterfeiters. Dave, have we ever reviewed it on all our movie shows? Have we ever heard of it? No. So
isn't everyone in LA pretty much that sort of description? You know, some sort of failed or failing writer. You know, director bollocks.
Yeah, I agree. I honestly, we all want that at some point. We all want that. I like a bit of, I love a bit of centre of attention, Dave. I did all them years in the band. I
I
love
wondered
doing
where
it.
you're going with that.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm not adverse to getting in front of a camera. You're not. We both do it, don't we? We both do a bit of the TikTok. I do my YouTube videos and that. So there's always going to be that narcissistical side to you, whether you think you're doing it or you're not. There's always something where if you put yourself out there to people, you are after some sort of acceptance, aren't you? Whether people like you, views, whatever. These people, fuck me. As I'm getting older, like, I'm lucky I'm 41, I'm happily married and everything. I'm like, I couldn't be 20 years old and be in this lifestyle. The people are just dickheads, aren't they? They're absolutely just completely will just shyster each other just to get where they are. I love watching it, but when I see someone come in and he's trying to sell the dream, and he's 29, he's not exactly a young kid, and they're trying to sell the dream, and I'm like, mate, and he went, I'm a great dancer, and they had this slow-mo VT of him dancing like me, like a fucking wardrobe or something, you know what I mean? I'm a shit dancer, I openly admit it, but he's like, you're not really a good dancer the way you really, Bryce. Come on, mate. It's like, oh, no.
You know what, Chris? You've just sparked a memory.
Oh, fuck off.
No, not about your dancing. It was something that you said that was actually quite profound. You're not going under the bus this time. So we were in Darwin at one of those pubs that was pretty good crowd that I can't remember the name of. It was on the corner.
Millstone.
The Millstone, that's the one. And there was a band on, another band before we got on, and they were like older, let's say, older rockers. And I remember I'd always thought up until that moment, because I'd been in bands since I was 17, and I thought, for as long as I can bloody carry an amp and a guitar around, I'll still be in bands. And you just said, I don't fucking want that. Being like all old and past it and on the stage still trying to act like you're a rocker in your 20s. Do you remember it,
Yeah.
I didn't think you'd remember.
Yeah.
That actually had quite a profound effect on me because it changed what I thought I was setting myself up for. And I was like, actually, you know what? You're fucking right there. I don't want to be out there looking like those twats. So it's it's bizarre that you remember it. So yeah, it's like him. It's like this Brees, or what was his name?
Bryce,
Brees, wasn't it? Yeah, Bryce.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you're fucking nearly in your 30s, and you're acting like you're fucking 18 on a 18 to 30s holiday. Grow the fuck up. I mean, what kind of emotionally bankrupt twat is he? If if he's sleeping with a different girl every night. Which I'm not sure if I buy, but, even if I do buy, it's like, really? I think at some point you've got to grow out of that, haven't you?
And I love the fact that was my mantra in the band. I always used to say I loved it. I did it for 8 years, then I'd never been in bands until I joined our band, and that was the only band I was ever in. I've never done it since. And we had pretty good success, didn't we? As a covers band, we were never anything above what we were, but we had quite a good following and stuff. And I'm not the best singer, but as a band as a whole, but I remember saying that, and honestly, it's something that I stopped gigging, didn't I? 40, I stopped gigging when I was 32. And it's like, I have never done it since, ever. I've got up now and again at a pub if like a band's on who we know and they've asked me to go singing, I'll do like a bit of a spot. And I genuinely never, but I always, you are right, Dave. And what I love more is the fact that you're still my friend after I ruined your fucking musical career by saying that.
Well, it just altered my perspective. So, yeah.
You twat, Chris.
No, not at all. I mean, if I was still doing that, I probably wouldn't be podcasting, would I? So, it is quite time consuming, isn't it, being in a band? And it is like being in another relationship with a bunch of dudes usually. So yeah, no, I don't regret it at all. It was just, I did not think you'd remember that conversation. But
I remember it.
Fucking hell. It was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Well, Alan, it must be about 12, 13 years ago. Must be.
Yeah, I think so.
I remember it religiously because we had a good following in Darwin. We did like the massive music festivals there. We were like the headline band, weren't we, a few times? So I remember doing them, especially when you got wasted on the first one, Dave. That was the best ever.
Fucking hell. That was proper hammered. Because I was normally driving, wasn't I?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you know, when I'm not driving, that's it. Fucked.
I remember you going into the crowd. This crowd was hundreds of people. I even remember going in the toilets and women were urinating in the urinals and the sinks. That's how busy it
It
was.
was a classy joint.
Oh my God, yeah. We had like the Cortinas on the main stage. I'll never forget that. They were on we were on the second main headline. We were like the headline cover act. I never forget it. It was such a good gig. But I never forget you just being absolute. I'd never seen you wasted and you were fucking hammered.
You're probably one of the few people who hasn't seen me wasted, but yeah,
Those are the
no, I had a
days.
fucking bad head after that day, I tell you.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I know we've gone completely off on the podcast there, but it just stuck with me for ages, Dave, like thinking, I don't want to do this. I don't want, and there's nothing wrong with it if you do it, but I don't want to be 50, 60 trying to pretend that I'm singing a song of a 20-year-old or something. I don't know what it was, whether it was arrogance on my part or not. I was just like, nah, this is not for me. And luckily, I've never done it since. So at least someone younger can't go, I don't want to be like that twat. So that was stood up there.
Yeah. But anyway, old Brees, he's definitely, you know, he needs to take a bit of that advice and do some fucking growing up. But I tell you what, it was so funny when it became clear to the rest of the group that he doesn't know anything, so he doesn't know what the rules are. And Kells was absolutely fucking pissing himself because he sized him up. He could figure out this guy thinks he's on the best fucking holiday on the planet with all these smoking hot ladies. And it's like, nope, cock blocked.
Yeah, 100%.
And it's him on the trailer, isn't it? You can see that when Chloe asks, is blue balls a real thing? And it's like, I guess we'll find out. But yeah, so Chris, it has been another great episode. We had a little bit of a tangent there, but I mean, anything else from the show that sort of caught your eye tonight?
No, nothing at all. I am literally finishing up here and going straight on to the next one. This has been a labour of love, Dave. Not because it's shit, because I fucking want to watch all of them. I wanted to watch all of them in one sitting. And I know for us, as podcasters, people listening, it wouldn't be right if we start jumping ahead because you're going to just drop stuff in there. As we talked about before we went on live, I am notorious, and I've done that many a time on our reviews, Anna Dave. And
Daredevil and Punisher.
I start talking about stuff that we're not even seeing or you've not even seen. So no, we are genuinely sticking. And thanks again, everybody, for following and listening. We've had the same amount of people that always listen and talk to us online. We really, really appreciate having everybody together because we're just a big community, a family of people who love watching these sort of daft shows. So no, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And I mean, so we're going to get on. We're going to watch episode 4 now. So we'll be at the halfway point in the series. We did talk about a rebrand.
Let's talk
Our
about
logo
that.
production didn't go quite like we'd hoped. And so we might yet finish this season out as the Love Island cast, I think. There's no fucking point, really, is there? Changing halfway through. So.
But let's just break the fourth wall. So we've gone for a designer on that website, Fiverr, and we've not just gone for the cheap $5 one, which is a great site, Fiverr, if you want logos, jingles, anything. You can find some proper diamonds in the rough. And we've gone, and I've done this. I've took it on my own back to do it. I said, I'll sort this out, Dave. Yeah, no. And I've gone for a highly rated guy who looked like he'd got a fucking Etch-a-Sketch and put this logo together. Right? It looked fucking shit. So the other night, I'm not a big drinker. The other night, we were watching that Married Medicine, and I messaged Dave at like 20 to fucking 12, still awake. And I went, hey, mate, here's the logo. And I sent it to you, and Dave being Mr. Polite was like, yeah, well, that's all right. What do you think? And then I went into a rant the next morning. Going, it's fucking shit. So, Dave and Chris,
it was. I can't. I think I'd had a couple of glasses of wine myself then, so I can't actually remember. Was it the night time or was it early in the morning when I saw it? But I remember looking at it for like about 30 seconds, like, you know, when you're in a bit of disbelief and shock. It's like, what the fuck am I looking at? I mean, the fact that, he's taken our likenesses and basically said, yeah, let's fuck those off. Let's go for the In-Betweeners. The fact that I look like fucking Will from the In-Betweeners.
I look like Simon. I mean, yeah, but you look like you're from Asia, Dave, as well. It's not a great likeness at
And
all.
also, I've got a bottle of water next to me. When am I going to be drinking water? Put a fucking glass of wine or a beer or something there.
Yeah. Oh,
It's just, but the font was pretty unreadable as well. And so, yeah, if you're listening, Mr. Logo Designer, we love you, honestly, but it was, not quite what we'd hoped.
no. And I've sent him that many revisions. He went, I'm going to have to draw this again. I went, I'm not fucking. I mean, I am one of the most reasonable guys. And then loads of times I've gone, no, it's fine. Don't worry. And then afterwards go, that's fucking wank. I'm actually going to find a logo myself. I've done all this sort of stuff. But we paid pretty good money for this. I'm like, we are not letting this. And I said to him, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to redraw it. We appreciate all the work you've done. But I just did a list. It's like, it looks nothing like us. The logo's not very good. But other than that, it's great.
Yeah. Other than that, we quite like it. Just redo the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we do need to sort out the Instagram and Twitter accounts for that as well, don't we? So
Yeah, that's my
we'll
job,
get this on, but it will probably be the next series, whatever that is.
I think you've hit the nail on the head. Let's just do it because he's fucking pointless now because Mr. Logo Designer has just not come through with us, Dave, at all. So, yeah, let's go with that. Right, guys, if you want to get in contact with the show, at Love Island Cast on Twitter, the loveislandcast@gmail.com. And as always, if you do have chance, please get onto your podcast catching app and just drop myself and Dave a review on the show. We really, really appreciate it. So, Dave, thank you so much, my friend. Great little segue there with the band stuff. And I'm so pleased there that it's such an important part in your life there. That's so good. And we wouldn't be podcasting you actually correct there, my friend. So thank you.
No, thank you, mate. And let's get on this next episode so we can record the next one.
Bye now.
See you next time.
All we've got to do is just keep our pants on.